This video is brought to you by Robinhood, the free and easy to use investment and trading brokerage. Robinhood allows you to trade and buy stocks, ETFs, bonds, and cryptocurrencies completely free. Also, if you download using the link in the description below, you'll get one free stock valued up to $200 just for signing up. No, you don't have to deposit a dime, and you could become instantly a part owner in companies like Microsoft, Walmart, McDonald's, or Disney just by getting lucky. So download Robinhood today and start taking advantage of this historic 2020 stock market crash. No, that's not my full portfolio. You guys aren't ready for that just yet. YouTube capital G here. Got some powerful tools for you guys to check out. This first one goes out to my good friend Steven Trifanuski. Trif, the next time they ask you how many negates you're gonna make, just tell them all the negates. That's how many I'm going to make. And this must be one of your proteges because he's gonna attempt to make all the negates as well. This is kind of like a throwback version of pendulums. You guys see some of the cards like the pendulum editions and Supreme King Dark Worm. These cards are not as popular as they once were. How this card even got restricted to 1 in the OCG at one point. I'm not sure what Dark Worm is in the OCG right now. I know pendulums got like hit super hard in the OCG. I mean, granted, they lost Electromite in the TCG and also Astrograph Sorcerer, so I guess they got kind of hit hard here. I mean, we just kind of went different routes about how we ended up hitting them. Anyways, Dark Worm, always want to be your first play with these builds of pendulums. Also getting rescue rabbits on the field, that gets you 2 level 4 monsters. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that's Dragon Pulse, right? It would really suck to draw this thing because if you're running 3 copies for rescue rabbit, good lord, imagine opening with multiple. I mean, I guess it's okay because you can just pendulum summon them and use them as scales. Anyways, Tuning Magician is going to activate, Daybreaker is going to activate as well, and you know that pendulums are not restricted by basically anything, even running Magician Souls. And he's going to get a lot of different plays here. Going into Halifibrax because pendulums do play tuners. That gets you Naturia Beast. This is a cheeky play. I've never even seen this card. Perform a Pal Misdirector. I mean, if you know what this card is and you know what it does off the top of your head, you're a better man than me, or a better lady than, well, I'm not a lady, but you get what I'm saying. You're a better duelist than me. There we go. Gender neutral. Because I don't know what the hell this card is. But I know he's going to use it to make Odd Eyes Meteor Burst, and that's going to get you a couple of 7s. And then, of course, after you make your XC, you're going to link it away so that you get Vortex Dragon, and he's actually going to go for one of the Gagaga XC monsters, Gagaga Magician. He's not done yet. We do need to get at least another negate or 2 on field. Going to go for Appaloosa, Bow of the Goddess, and then we're also going to go for F-Zero Utopic Future. But honestly, the only reason people make this card anymore is to turn it into the newer version of Utopic or the F-Zero, and that just gives you negation, but this negation is better than just standard monster negation like Appaloosa, because this not only negates the monster, it takes the monster as well. So it's a card like you'll see a lot more just because of that. By the way, dinosaur players, this is why people don't run Overtext Quoteless anymore. It's a brick and you can end up losing the duel. But honestly, I don't really think that it mattered what this card was, because I'm trying to think of any way to like play out of this. I mean, yeah, like I'm trying to think if it was a kaiju. What do you kaiju of all of them? I mean, 4 negations, and then you have infinity negation for spells. You would have had to have a kaiju plus impermanence. That would have been the way to break this board. Like you kaiju this, and then you impermanence this, and then you have 4 cards to play. Yeah, you can do it. If you have those 2 cards specifically, that'll definitely get you there. Anyway, second duel. Blue Eyes against Zodiac. So I don't know when you guys will see this duel, but whenever Yu-Gi-Oh starts up competitively, I'll probably be playing Dragon Maids at my first competitive event. But if I don't go with Dragon Maids because it is an expensive deck, I'm thinking Zodiac might be the other pick. Zodiac I think it's a very strong deck. It's very target reliant though. That's one thing I don't love about it, but it's a deck that can do a whole lot with very little. You can, I mean, 1 copy of Trident, I thought it was going to matter. It really doesn't matter because Pot of Avarice is at 3. And you guys can see, you see how many times you summoned Dryden in that first turn? That Dryden got summoned, I believe, 3 times in that turn. With cards like Chaka 9 and Tiger Motor, it really doesn't matter if Dryden is at 1. I actually think if Zodiac Barrage went to 3, that'd be a huge boost to Zodiac. But yeah, also with the Pot of Avarice at 3, they cycle that same Dryden back in their deck like 10 different times. Anyways, I'm not a super big fan of just throwing out Megaclops naked, but I have seen this done before. I'm not saying it's a bad play because it is unaffected by all monster effects except Xyz monsters, and I mean, if your opponent's not playing like a lot of Xyz monsters, they're probably not gonna be able to kill this guy unless they have impermanence or something. This card is mainly better if you're going second, because it can bring back Dryden and suck your opponent's monster up, so it becomes a +2, and Dryden can pop something, so actually it's a +3 exchange. But yeah, the Blue Eyes deck doesn't really care because they can just go into rank 8s, they can clash, and I mean, this is a Chaos Max build, so this build like super doesn't care because they have multiple ways of clashing. Now, this is one issue that I had with the Zodiac deck. I think he could have won this duel, and I think he could have done it in this turn. The thing about Megaclops, unless I'm just not reading this card correctly, it has been properly summoned, and I believe he's going to top deck like Monster Reborn. Actually, no, excuse me, top decks Pot of Avarice. I feel like he could definitely use that from the graveyard. Like, he has the Monster Reborn. Once I saw that, I was like, I think it's just game, right? You Monster Reborn, the Megaclops, then you go for some Zodiac plays, you get your Dryden in the graveyard, you end up sucking this guy up, but he's not going to go for that. And that was a little disappointing. Gets another copy of Pot of Avarice. By the way, Avarice is not a hard once per turn because it's Flaming Eternity is that a GX set or a DM set? I always get that mixed up. Anyways, he's gonna shuffle the Megaclops back into his deck to draw 2 cards. Again, this is something I don't like. I don't actually agree with. I feel like he should have Monster Reborned it, unless there's just some reason that he couldn't, and I'm just completely missing that. I think he actually just would have had game. Anyways, he is going to use the Zodiac Dryden. I also don't like this play particularly. If you are, like, Dryden is an excellent disruptive card, but it shouldn't be in attack position. If you only have 1 monster on it and it's 100 attack, like, what are you doing here? Because, you know, it has to have Zodiac monsters as Xyz material. So having your opponent's monster as an Xyz material, yeah, it lets it have a pop, but it shouldn't be in attack mode. You should always have Zodiac Dryden, unless it's like gonna do some major damage. You should usually keep it in defense mode. Anyways, going to discard the Effect Veiler. You can also argue that that was a bit of a misplay. You could have just set the Lightning Storm because it is already a dead card because of Tinky, and, you know, kept the Effect Veiler. Quite honestly, now that I'm watching this duel again, I'm realizing that this Zodiac player is playing, like, awfully. I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, what are we looking at, a 3 maybe? Uses DD Crow. I think they actually missed the target of what they wanted to DD Crow, and the Zodiac Dryden is not even going to find its target because the Deep of Blue Eyes is actually going to be protecting it, and I think we're just going to see him get ran over here. My goodness, that was like one of the worst displays of dueling I've seen in a very long time. When you play a deck that wants to give you the W and you do everything in your power to possibly lose the duel as you can think of. That was borderline embarrassing. Don't play Zodiac like that, guys. Anyways, hopefully you guys did enjoy those duels. If you did, give the video a thumbs up. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos, and also to become a better Zodiac player, because you shouldn't be losing duels like this.